All right, so AI, right? It's everywhere you look these days. Feels like every day there's a new headline. AI this, AI that. But today, we're going straight to the source. We're talking to the minds that are actually building the future, not just talking about it.
And we're diving deep into the largest ever survey of AI experts.
Over 2,700 of them.
Yeah, over 2,700. And let me tell you, their predictions, wild.
Yeah, and we're not talking about, robots taking over the world, well, not yet at least.
Right.
This is about the concrete milestones these experts see happening in our lifetime.
Yeah, in our lifetime, I mean, some of this stuff, it's happening within this decade.
This decade, yeah.
It's incredible the specificity we're seeing in this survey.
Yeah.
It's not just vague predictions, right? It's like they're giving us a sneak peek at AI's to-do list. Right. It's like, you see those movies and they're like, okay, computer, build me a website. And then poof, there it is, all done.
Yeah.
That's kind of becoming a reality. And these experts, they're saying this is going to be happening even sooner than we think. By 2028.
By 2028.
AI could be building sophisticated websites, like the whole thing.
With payment systems, everything.
Everything.
The whole 9 yards.
I mean, think about that. If you could hand over any task to an AI and know it would be done perfectly, what would it be?
What would it be? Right. Just imagine it's like having a team of invisible experts.
Yes.
On call 24/7, ready to tackle anything you throw at them.
Yeah.
And it's not just the practical stuff.
Yeah. Think about creativity, right? Imagine turning on the radio, you hear a brand new Taylor Swift song, catchy as ever, but here's the thing. It wasn't Taylor Swift at all.
Wow.
It was AI.
No way.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that's the other thing that blew me away in the survey is the timeline for AI creativity.
Yeah.
They're saying by 2028, AI could be composing hit songs indistinguishable from a human artist.
So you're telling me in a few years we might not even know?
You might not even know.
If we're listening to a human or an AI.
It makes you wonder, what does it even mean to be creative or artistic?
Right.
In a world where AI can just whip up a hit song like it's nothing.
That's a whole other deep dive.
Right, exactly.
But it really makes you think, this isn't just about robots and algorithms anymore. This is about what makes us human.
Yeah.
What separates us.
Absolutely. And that brings us to what these experts call high-level machine intelligence.
High-level machine intelligence.
Or HLMI. Essentially, the point where AI surpasses human capabilities across the board.
Okay, so HLMI, not robots taking over the world.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. But this isn't some distant sci-fi concept.
Right.
They're predicting a median date of 2047.
2047?
Early 47.
That's 23 years away.
Yeah, that's sooner than I thought.
Yes.
23 years ago, I was figuring out how to use dial-up internet.
Exactly.
And they're saying by that point, AI could be smarter than us.
Potentially, yeah. And what's even wilder, this prediction, years earlier than what experts were saying just last year. Clearly something is accelerating faster than we thought.
It really highlights how quickly this field is moving, how much progress is being made. But before we all panic about AI taking over the world, there's a fascinating twist. While these experts believe we're rapidly approaching HLMI, they're less convinced about what they call full automation of labor.
Full automation of labor. Okay, so break that down. We've got AI potentially outsmarting us in the next couple decades, but not necessarily taking all our jobs. How does that work?
Right, because it's a complex issue. It comes down to how we define work and intelligence. While AI might excel at specific tasks, even very complex ones, replicating the full scope of human capabilities in the workplace. Different ballgame.
Okay, so for all you listeners out there, this isn't necessarily a reason to breathe a sigh of relief or start updating your resume for the robot uprising just yet.
Exactly. We need to remember that the future isn't preordained. It's something we're shaping right now.
So we're talking about a future where AI could be composing symphonies, coding websites, maybe even brewing that perfect cup of coffee.
Yeah, and all while we humans try to keep up, right?
Exactly. But it begs the question, if an AI can write a hit song, does that make it an artist? If it can code a website better than any human, what happens to the web developers?
Those are the million-dollar questions, aren't they? The ones we'll be grappling with more and more in the coming years. But, it's not just about the tasks themselves. It's about the relationship between humans and AI. How do we coexist in a world where AI is increasingly capable?
And speaking of coexistence, let's get into some of the specifics from the survey. Because they didn't just ask about timelines. They also asked these experts to paint a picture of what this future AI might actually look like. how it might behave.
Yeah, and this is where it gets really interesting because it's one thing to talk about AI exceeding human intelligence in the abstract, but it's another to imagine actually interacting with such an AI in our daily lives.
Exactly. So imagine it's 2043.
Yeah.
Okay. You walk into a cafe, you order a latte, you strike up a conversation with the person next to you. Except here's the twist. It's not a person at all.
It's an AI.
It's an AI.
Right. Now, this AI, it might not look like the robots we see in the movies, right? But it can hold a conversation, it can understand your emotions, maybe even crack a joke or two. But here's the thing. According to the survey, there's a good chance this AI could be incredibly good at deception.
Wait, hold on. Deception. As in, like, lying to us. I thought we were trying to make AI trustworthy, not, like, sneaky.
Right, but it's not necessarily about malicious intent. Think of it more like strategic thinking, right? The ability to navigate complex situations, to anticipate and respond to information that might be hidden or incomplete.
Okay, so our 2043 AI barista is a master strategist, not necessarily a master manipulator. Gotcha. But if it can understand our emotions, I mean, does that mean it has its own? What about feelings? Consciousness?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? And the survey doesn't have all the answers, of course. But one thing that came through loud and clear was the importance of AI being able to explain itself.
So no more cryptic algorithms that nobody understands. We'll actually be able to ask AI, like, hey, what's going on in that digital brain of yours?
Exactly. The experts emphasized that transparency and explainability are going to be crucial for building trust with AI, especially as it becomes more powerful. We need to be able to understand how it's making decisions, how it's arriving at its conclusions.
Makes sense. It's like the old saying, with great power comes great need for transparency, apparently. But even if AI can explain itself, there's still that lingering fear, right? The one we've all seen in the sci-fi movies. What happens when the AI decides it doesn't need us anymore? What about the whole AI grabbing for power scenario?
It's interesting you bring that up because that particular fear, the classic robot uprising, was actually the scenario these experts were least concerned about.
Really? So no robot overlords in our future.
Well, we can't rule anything out definitively, but the fact that power-hungry AI ranked so low on their list of concerns suggests it's not the most pressing issue on their minds.
Okay, so if it's not a hostile takeover, then what are these AI experts most worried about? What's keeping them up at night?
Well, the survey actually delved into that, presenting respondents with 6 different AI-related scenarios and asking how concerned they were about each one.
A little AI risk assessment. I like it.
Exactly.
So what topped the charts?
Well, the spread of false information emerged as a major concern.
Yeah, that's certainly relevant. We've already seen how easily misinformation can spread online, even without AI's help.
Exactly. And as AI gets better at generating realistic content, whether it's text, images, or even videos, it could become even harder to distinguish truth from fabrication.
Oh, talk about a recipe for chaos. What else made the list of AI anxieties?
Another big one was the potential for authoritarian governments to misuse AI, for things like population control or surveillance.
Okay, that one definitely has some dystopian vibes.
Yeah. And these concerns aren't unfounded. We're already seeing some governments experimenting with these technologies, so it's crucial that we have these open and honest conversations about the ethical implications, the potential risks.
It's a reminder that technology, it's never neutral. It's a reflection of our values, our choices, and ultimately our responsibility to use it wisely.
Precisely. And that's what makes this survey so valuable. It's not just about predicting the future, it's about understanding the choices we're making today and how they might shape that future.
Choices like how fast we develop AI in the first place.
Exactly. And that's another fascinating aspect of this survey. They actually asked the experts whether they thought faster or slower progress in AI would be better for humanity.
So what's the verdict? Full speed ahead or pump the brakes?
Well, the results were actually quite divided on this one.
A hung jury on the future of AI. That's not very helpful for those of us trying to decide whether to invest in a robot butler or start stockpiling canned goods.
But that's not necessarily a bad thing, right? It just highlights the complexity of the issue. There are valid arguments to be made on both sides. Some experts believe that faster progress will lead to breakthroughs that could benefit humanity in countless ways, while others worry about the risks of moving too quickly without fully understanding the potential consequences.
So how do we navigate this uncertainty? What are we supposed to make of these conflicting viewpoints?
That's where it becomes even more interesting. because while the experts were split on the speed of development, there was one area where there was overwhelming agreement.
Oh, do tell. A rare moment of AI expert unity. I'm all ears.
They overwhelmingly agreed that research aimed at minimizing potential risks from AI systems should be a top priority, regardless of how quickly the field advances.
So whether they favored hitting the gas or tapping the brakes, they all agreed on the importance of a seatbelt, so to speak.
Exactly.
Safety first, even in the fast-paced world of AI.
Precisely. It's like we're navigating uncharted territory here. And while we might disagree on the best route to take, we can all agree on the importance of a good map and a reliable compass.
Like we're trying to map the stars while we're still, like, inventing the telescope.
Exactly. And that's why it's so crucial to have these conversations, to acknowledge the uncertainties, to really dig into the potential benefits and risks of AI as it continues to evolve.
Because at the end of the day, this isn't just some, like, abstract tech talk. This is about our future, the future we're building right now with every decision we make about AI development.
And what this survey makes abundantly clear is that there's no single easy answer, no one-size-fits-all solution. We're all in this together, navigating uncharted territory.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into the minds of AI experts, I want to leave you with this thought.
If you could hit pause on AI development for a moment, just to gather your thoughts, to really grapple with the implications of this technology, what would you do with that pause? What questions would you ask? What possibilities would you explore? Because the future of AI isn't some pre-programmed script.
No.
It's a story we're all writing, together.
It really is. And that is a wrap on another deep dive. Thanks for joining us as we explored the fascinating and sometimes a little bit scary world of AI. Until next time, keep asking questions, keep exploring, and keep your minds open to the possibilities of the future.